You turn 65, you sign up for Medicare, you think you're done. But there's a 7-month window, and almost nobody explains it clearly. Miss it by even a few weeks, and Medicare can add a penalty to your premium every single month. Not for a year, not for 5 years, forever. And there isn't just one way to fall into this. There are at least 3 traps, and they catch even careful people. I'm Ray. Here's the exact window, and the traps that catch people who think they did everything right. Quick note before we start. I'm not affiliated with Medicare, Social Security, or any insurance company. This is educational, not advice on your specific situation. For your personal enrollment questions, call 1-800-MEDICARE or your local state health insurance assistance program. That help is free. Here's the window nobody explains clearly. Your initial enrollment period is 7 months long. 3 months before the month you turn 65, your birthday month itself, and 3 months after. Say your birthday is in June. Your window runs from March through September. Sign up in those first 3 months, and coverage starts right on your birthday month, no gap. Sign up during your birthday month or in the 3 months after, and coverage starts the first of the following month instead. A rule that changed in 2023 to shorten the wait. You can apply online at ssa.gov, by phone, or in person. It takes minutes. Miss the whole 7 months though, and the penalties we're about to cover start stacking, month by month, and they don't reset. Skip Part B when you first qualify, and it's 10% added to your premium for every full 12 months you waited. And this is the one people underestimate the most. It's not temporary, it's permanent, for as long as you have Part B, which for most people means the rest of their life. In 2026, the base premium is $202.90 a month. Wait just 2 years, and you're already paying an extra 20%, around $243 a month instead of $202.90. Wait 7 years, and it's $344.93 a month for life. That's over $1,700 a year, every year, forever. And because the base premium itself goes up most years, your penalty dollar amount grows right along with it. Prescription drug coverage has its own separate penalty, and this one catches people who think they're being careful. It's 1% of the national base beneficiary premium, $38.99 in 2026, for every full month you went without Part D or equivalent creditable drug coverage. Say you went 14 months uncovered. That's about $5.50 added to your Part D premium every month for as long as you have Part D. Here's the part most people miss. You're fine if you have other drug coverage that's considered creditable, through a retiree plan or the VA, for example, as long as you don't go 63 days or more without any coverage at all. Cross that 63-day line, and the penalty clock starts, even if you assumed you were covered. And that dollar penalty isn't frozen. It's recalculated every single year against the new base premium, so it can quietly grow over time. Part A is usually free, and this one's worth double-checking rather than assuming. You qualify for premium-free Part A if you, or your spouse, paid Medicare taxes for 40 quarters, which is about 10 years of work. That's right, your spouse's work history can qualify you, even if you personally never worked those quarters. You can check your quarters on your Social Security statement at ssa.gov. If you don't have the 40 quarters, Part A costs $311 or $565 a month in 2026, depending on how many quarters you do have. And yes, there's a penalty for delaying Part A too, but it's milder than Part B or D, double the years you delayed, not forever. Now, if you're still working past 65 with real employer coverage, through your own job or your spouse's, you can legally delay Part B with no penalty, but only if that employer has 20 or more employees. Your special enrollment period opens the moment you stop working or lose that group coverage, whichever comes first. 8 months, penalty-free, to sign up for Part A and Part B. But here's the catch almost nobody catches. For Part D, that same 8-month window only actually protects you for the first 2 months. Wait past month 2 to add drug coverage, and the Part D penalty clock starts ticking against you, even though your Part B window is technically still open. Here's the trap that costs people the most money, and it's almost always an honest mistake. COBRA. Say you retire at 63 and pick up COBRA to bridge your health insurance until you're ready to deal with Medicare. It feels like coverage, so it feels safe. It isn't, for this purpose. Your 8-month special enrollment period starts the day your active employment coverage ends, the day you actually stopped working, not the day COBRA eventually runs out. Ride out 18 months of COBRA, thinking the clock hasn't started yet, and you've already blown past your penalty-free window by 10 full months before you even realize it. By the time you sign up, the penalty has already been quietly building the whole time. And if your employer has fewer than 20 employees, none of what we just covered applies to you. Medicare automatically becomes your primary coverage the moment you turn 65, even if you're still actively working and still insured through your job. Skip signing up for Part B in that situation, thinking your job coverage has you covered, and you're building the exact same lifetime penalty as someone with no coverage at all. It's worth simply asking your HR department in writing how many employees your company has. It determines which rules apply to you. Missed every window? There's a once-a-year backup. The General Enrollment Period, January 1st through March 31st. Since 2023, your coverage starts the first of the month after you sign up, not July 1st like it used to be, and not like some outdated articles online still claim. That gap got noticeably shorter. But the penalty for the years you were late doesn't disappear. It's calculated the same way regardless of which window you use. One more thing worth knowing. The General Enrollment Period is not the same as the Medicare Annual Enrollment Period in the fall, October 15th through December 7th. That one's for people already on Medicare who want to switch plans, not for signing up for the first time. Mixing those two up is its own small trap. Quick example, start to finish. Someone retires at 63, leans on COBRA for 18 months thinking they're covered, then signs up during general enrollment 3 years late. Part B penalty, 30%. That's $263.77 a month instead of $202.90. Add a Part D gap on top of that, and they're paying roughly $790 extra a year for the rest of their life, for a mistake that would have taken 30 seconds to avoid with the right information. And don't confuse any of this with IRMA. That's a completely different income-based surcharge for people who are enrolled on time but earn above a certain threshold. You can owe both the late penalty and IRMA at the same time, which is exactly why this deserves more attention than it gets. So here's your actual plan. Mark your 7-month window on a calendar the day you turn 62, so it's never a surprise. If you're working past 65, get it in writing from HR whether your employer has 20+ employees. If you're about to leave a job, call Medicare or your local SHIP office before you sign up for COBRA, not after. It takes one phone call to avoid years of extra cost. Hit subscribe. I break down one of these retirement traps every single week. Did you or someone in your family run into one of these Medicare windows? Tell me in the comments. Next time, turning 73 soon? There's another deadline, and missing this one can cost you a 25% tax penalty on your own IRA.